I'm coming from Slovakia, working in Austria in a big multinational company in HR, in people and culture stream, responsible for commercial functions. Who am I? I'm a 40 plus person with 2 kids and a husband who works in a high position as well. I'm full of energy. I have a lot of hobbies, a lot of things that are very interesting and important to me. And definitely I am a high achiever. I'm very much object driven, very much high performance, valuing good delivery, high quality, but still a very empathic person. That's who I am. My challenge before starting coaching with Beata was I had a few challenges. I stuck at a point where I could not pursue the career at the pace I wanted to. I was very much frustrated by the high amount of operational tasks I was working on. And I had the feeling that I'm being stuck in such a high workload that I will sooner or later face a burnout. So you see, there have been multiple points where I was struggling and I was not living the life I wanted to live. I have had several goals for coaching. Start working on my purpose and on a better work-life balance. Start to feel more confident in difficult situations and having a clear direction where my career will head in the near future. My coaching journey was very, I would say, fruitful. I would describe it with fruitful and very vivid. And I had several coachings before, and I always was very, very capable of hiding the true issues. So the journey I experienced and the coaching experience I had for this time was that you were able to uncover things that I was hiding very much. And so it was in some situation and in some discussions not easy at all. It was very difficult because I needed to face the truth, and you've challenged me in a way that I needed to, because I'm a very strong person and a very challenging one, but you did not let go. So it was a journey where I faced my fears, I would say, when I had the realization that I'm human as well, and that it's okay to let go, and that it's okay to slow down, to accelerate. This is one of the insights I have written in my diary: slow down to accelerate. I could not believe, but you made it true. I am slowing down, but I'm having much more of a strategic impact, and my footprint is much bigger and much significant than it was before. And a very big insight out of the coaching was: be the slave of your calendar. This is one thing that I'm always telling. If someone's asked me, what have you learned in your coaching with Beata? This is a thing that I'm saying as a first thing. And it looks very basic, but it's not at all, because because it's not just putting everything in my calendar and be the slave of it, but assessing what I have in the calendar. Does it serve my purpose? Does it serve my values? Not only my career progression, but values, the things who I am. That makes your calendar, I would say, it's a picture, it's a book of myself. And every time I look in it, I see, is it the true Betty or is it not? And being slave of the activities that I have in my calendar makes me much more effective than I was before, having the private one and the business one. So yeah, a few of insights. But these were the two biggest, I would say. It was the combination of more factors, I would say. You gave me insights, meaning it was not only the classical questions, answers relationship, which is normally in the coaching relationship. So I received from you as well mental or thoughts that made me think. So it was not only my work, but it was a work of both of us, because you gave me ideas, you gave me book recommendations that made me think. So I would say this one, and as well, I thought sometimes that you see through me and you did not let go. So I would describe it as it was not that you were harsh or unpleasant, but you were very consequent. You did not let go. in a respectful way, because I had the feeling that if I would claim that it's too much, you would respect that. But it felt in a very respectful way. You could see through me and you did not let go. The result of my coaching with Beata are definitely still ongoing. So it's a change that is sustainable so far. And I received the feedback without people knowing that I went through a coaching, but I receive a lot of feedback that I'm a different person. And if I would describe it with a picture, it's like I'm much more stronger. I'm in a storm. I stand with both of my feet on the ground and nothing can pull me around. And it's because, again, it looks so basic, but it's really a big difference. I take care of myself. I think a lot about how I spend my time because it's not limitless. And therefore, if I do things, if I read things, if I meet people, if I work on a project, there are things that are based on my conscious decision, and therefore I'm standing strong. Nothing can pull me just around. So it's not like I am in the process looking for the direction. I have the direction and then comes the process. So this is definitely one of the results. I would describe it confidence and strength for others. On the other hand, I as well am able to have a much more concentrated time. So I used your advices on the high flow way of working, even if I'm just basic, but it helps me a lot to have a very effective time during the day. So this is being seen by the others as well, because I delegate much. I spend different topics during our discussion with my people, so they feel as well a difference. My friends feel the difference. I suddenly have time for my friends without having the feeling that I miss something at work, or that I miss some important things, or that I will not be visible for my career. Who cares? The things that I'm doing make sense for myself. And at the end, it shall make sense for my career as well. And if it doesn't, it's fine, because it was a well-used time. What is my next goal on my journey? I think you know me by far, so far, even if we met only once personal. I have many goals. Yeah, how to describe it? Some of them are personal, some of them are professional. My goals in my work are to things that I've learned to pass to others, because I think that I can influence and change life and the perception and the satisfaction of people around me. I have a personal goal as well. I will run a half marathon in autumn, and I will we did the first exercise when we were thinking about what do I want to learn, what do I want to leverage, what will be written on my graveyard. So I will definitely start to learn something this year, be it facilitation of, I don't know yet what, but I know that I will learn a new capability this year. So these are the small 3 objectives of mine. I was, how do I see what were the experience with coaching with you? First of all, I was very hesitant at the beginning having a virtual coaching, because I could not imagine how you build rapport, which is extremely necessary for coaching throughout the virtual world. But you made it. I don't know how, but you built rapport very nicely, even over virtual environment. But as well, and I've mentioned it already, the very experience I had with you is that you have a high sense of empathy, and you see easily, this is how I perceive it, through people. So you knew my boundaries, and you knew you need to push me to get there, but you did not push too much. But you were not always, you asked me sometimes questions where I felt completely, oh my God, give me a break. Why are you digging so deep? But looking back, it was the only way that I could change something. I was describing you, and I was so proud. I was describing you one situation that I handled with my daughter. I don't know whether you can remember, but she is very ambitious, much more ambitious than I am, and she wanted desperately to write just an A. Anything else was bad. And I was so proud, because I told you that I said I will reward her if she gives something, if she brings a B or a C as a grade. And then you said, stop. This is not good what you did, Betty. I do not agree, because then you reward something that is not what's important for her. And I was like, oh, Okay, so you were not afraid to tell me, and a lot of people do not tell me what they think. I experience it not that often that someone tells me like it's completely bullshit what you've decided, it's completely bullshit what you said, it's not that great how you feel it, but you did. And this having this mirror, why I am saying this, I still think that it was a good discussion with my daughter, but hearing it, that something I did was not that perfect as I perceived it, was a new experience for me. And it was a refreshing one because I had the trust that you say what you think, not what I want to hear because I'm your coachee. Coaching means for me the process of finding my own or your own solution for problem you cannot solve by yourself, but you have the strength to solve it with the support of someone. But the someone, Beata or the coach, helps you to find your own solutions. So the change will be your own. It's not a written change by someone, by a book, by a podcast talker, by politician, whoever. It's your change. So just do it. You have nothing to lose. I myself am in the environment of high performers and high achievers. And we very often think that if you have the goal, you will find a way and you will achieve it. But it's not always true. And I believe what helped me a lot was that I had this commitment towards you. This is how I work. If I say something and I know that I have a commitment towards a third person, I know that I will keep up my promise because this is my value. And I understood that throughout living this value of if I promise, I deliver. If I promise you that I will read a book, I read the book because even if I did not have time, I said, I promised Beata. So I did it. So you helped me to live up to my commitments, which is sometimes very helpful, I believe. Anything else? I believed I mentioned a lot. What is important, I believe, for people like me, and it's not suitable for everyone, but it's allow yourself to be vulnerable. It's just 1 hour a week or 1 hour a bi-weekly, and this is a cautious decision to allow to have the time and be vulnerable, which is not always. This is what we do not allow ourselves. I do not allow myself. I always perform. I always take care of others. I'm always the strong, the one that listens. And having the luxury, being vulnerable and looking into the darkest of your soul places, it's a luxury. So use it.